Hello everyone and welcome to GG Crypto. It's November 25th, 2025. Today we are looking at an extraordinary convergence of events shaping both markets and geopolitics. Major US-China discussions, a potential Ukraine peace deal, a massive crypto and stock market inflow, and Bitcoin holding critical structural support. We'll break down why whales are buying, what the Fed is signaling, and why BTC and altcoins may be setting up for a significant bullish leg. Let's get into it. Let's take a look at the total crypto market capitalization. Today is $3.01 trillion. That's decreased by 0.72% in the past 24 hours. The fear and greed index is extreme fear still. It's low and it's 15. Altcoins is an indicator here showing 23 and over here is 41. The average crypto RSI here is 53.31. The price of BTC is 87,500. Ethereum price is 2,941. XRP price is 2.19 and BNB price is 859. In the past 24 hours we have some red, but nothing major happening here. Let's take a look at the chart of BTC. As you can see, it's looking same as yesterday, not much has changed here. As I was saying yesterday, there's gonna be some resistance at 93K. Let's see how it goes. Let's take a look at Ethereum. The current price of Ethereum is 2,939. There's gonna be some resistance probably in the 3,200 area. Let's see how things go here. For the time being, it's looking fine. When it comes to BTC dominance is still dropping, as you can see here. For today, it's minus 0.10%. There's plenty of room for it to go to the downside, and that's exactly what we are waiting for. This is what happened in the past, and we want it to go into the 40s. To this area, it's gonna be great. Another 20% drop, even if it's gonna be more, 24, 25, it's gonna be perfect, and that's exactly what altcoins need. US dollar index is also dropping, which is good. SPX is still going up. For today, it's 0.72% to the upside, which is great to see. Gold is still looking good. As you can see here, it's trying to go to the upside. Let's see if it's gonna be able to break out. There is a bullish pennant forming here, symmetrical triangle. Let's see what happens next. When it comes to Bitcoin monthly returns, for today is minus 20%. In the past 24 hours, we have 302 million wrecked, 151 in shorts and 151 in longs. US-China relations are strengthening. President Trump had a productive call with President Xi of China, covering topics from Ukraine, Russia to fentanyl, soybeans and other farm products. Key takeaways: the discussion built on a successful meeting in South Korea 3 weeks ago. Progress has been made with keeping agreements current and accurate. President Xi invited Trump to visit Beijing in April, and Trump reciprocated with a state visit for Xi to the US later in the year. Both leaders emphasized the importance of frequent communication moving forward. Markets typically react well to reduced geopolitical tensions, and this update sets a supportive backdrop for risk assets, including crypto. Let's talk about crypto and stock market inflows. In the last 3 days, 272.48 billion was added to crypto market and 1 trillion added to the US stock market. Bitcoin continues to hold support at 100-week SMA, a critical structural level that previously acted as a dynamic resistance before triggering the 2023 bull reversal. Institutional activity is also picking up. BlackRock deposited 391 million in BTC to Coinbase, once again to sell and inject more fear into the markets. I guess they want to lower their DCA prices. Now let's talk about buying instead of selling. BlackRock bought 92.61 million in Ethereum, marking the first inflow to their Ether ETF after 2 weeks. Metaplanet, a Japanese publicly listed company that operates as a Bitcoin treasury company, raised 130 million to buy more Bitcoin, which is very bullish. Whales are buying the fear, positioning for the next bull leg, while retail remains cautious. There is a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly BTC chart. Selling pressure is easing, momentum is bottoming, weekly RSI likely to reverse soon. If the divergence confirms, the next leg for BTC is usually a strong continuation rally, potentially fueling altcoins afterward. Let's talk about the macro data and Fed rate cuts. Today's US macroeconomic data shows inflation and retail activity are slightly softer than expected, supporting Fed rate cut expectations. US core PPI forecast for today was 0.2%. It came in at 0.1. US PPI month-to-month forecast was 0.3 and came in at 0.3 exactly. US core PPI year-to-year forecast was 2.7. It came in at 2.6. US retail sales month-to-month forecast was 0.4 and it came in at 0.2. Fed rate cut odds for December have jumped to 82.7%, with Fed's Myron signaling that the economy calls for large interest rate cuts. Lower rates combined with rising liquidity are historically bullish for crypto and stocks. There's also some news about Ukraine and Russia war. Breaking developments in geopolitics could also reshape markets. Ukraine has reportedly agreed to the framework of a peace deal brokered by the US, with the final discussions scheduled between President Zelensky and President Trump on November 27th. Russia's position remains uncertain, though Putin signaled initial approval. The amended plan addresses controversial points from a prior 28-point peace proposal, easing Ukrainian concerns. If finalized, this could be a major catalyst for global markets, reducing geopolitical risk. Institutional inflow, structural BTC support, and easing macro pressures are creating a fertile ground for altcoins. Institutional inflows indicate long-term positioning. BTC holding the 100-week SMA preserves a macro momentum. Hidden bullish divergence in BTC could rotate liquidity into altcoins once momentum confirms. Historically, this type of environment precedes altcoin rallies, not the tops. So in conclusion, US-China relations strengthen, reducing geopolitical risk. Ukraine peace deal framework agreed, with final talks imminent. 272 billion was added to crypto and 1 trillion was added to the US stock market in just days. BTC holding critical 100-week SMA signaling structural support. Institutional inflows to BTC and ETH accelerating. Hidden bullish divergence points to the next leg higher. Federal Reserve data came in softer than expected and Fed rate cut odds jumped to 82.7%. Everything is signaling for a potential major bullish continuation both in crypto and risk markets. These next few weeks could be decisive. Stay sharp, stay strong. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow.